it's very appropriate for the opening day that I've had so far.
That's what I thought.
Somber opening day.
I thought a somber opening would perfectly describe, Drew, the mood that you are feeling. Welcome to the InsidersTV Fantasy Elite Show. And this is a live draft show. This is a player show. And the players that we have are none other than Mr. Drew Dinkmeyer from RotoExperts. Drew is not a happy camper right now, but hopes to improve his spirits with a win over friend, but more importantly, rival, Mike Leone.
He's got no chance.
Mike is the co-author of the Daily Fantasy Rundown with Drew on the RotoExperts. I want to say Fantasy Experts. On the RotoExperts.com, they have their premium subscription. We'll also be talking a little bit about how you can get a free subscription to the Daily Fantasy Rundown package that they have over there, worth every penny, but how you can get it for free, basically by playing on the Fantasy Elite app. For those that do not know, the Fantasy Elite app is available for the iPad and the iPhone in the Apple Store, and you play for money and bragging rights, which we'll be doing on this show today. So, guys, without further ado, how you feeling?
Confident.
Not as confident. I've been just getting beat down after the trip to the Playboy Mansion. I'm still recovering.
Drew, you went for...
I went for McJester's birthday party.
McJester finished 1, 2, and 3 at that tournament. Took home a lot of money.
That was unreal.
What's new? To finish 1, 2, and 3 in a field loaded with quote-unquote like high-ranked players, experts, yada yada yada, like to place 1, 2, and 3, that's like unprecedented. Like I don't know if it'll ever happen again. So McJester is riding a heater, and he continued riding it on Saturday night. But we're transitioning from basketball to baseball. Opening day today. There already have been a bunch of games, but the thing about Fantasy Elite is that they break down the games into short segments, and you draft based on a salary cap. And what happens is you can draft early or you can draft late. So some sites that have lineups that lock, after those lineups lock, you can go ahead and wind down like I do with a bunch of Fantasy Elite drafts. Sometimes it can get a little hectic. What are the most live drafts that you guys have been in at once on Fantasy Elite? Drew?
4.
Mike?
I think only like 2 to 3. I can only handle so many.
My gosh. What a weenie.
That's the guy that's confident. The guy that can only handle 2 to 3.
Well, if you recall, the last time we did a similar show.
Yes, let's recall, because we did do a similar show where you guys drafted for the NBA, and you put lineup alerts that you guys feature on the Daily Fantasy Rundown. You put that on the line, so loser had to do an extra day of lineup alerts. Drew, I thought you had the greatest team that day, but alas, Mike won, and you had to do lineup alerts. When you were doing those lineup alerts, how did that feel?
Miserable. It's like the worst thing. NBA lineup alerts are like the worst thing you can lose because they totally derail your roster construction time.
And I think Dink was trying to get out of doing them on a quali night. That was his plan. I sabotaged it.
I was trying to figure out a way around having to do it on the qualifier night because Mike had already qualified and I still hadn't. So, but yes, I lost. I'm here for revenge, though. I'm ready.
And you guys, basically, do you have anything on the line, I guess, is the first question I would ask.
Pride.
Mostly pride.
You don't have any sort of side action on this?
It's hard to... It's a difficult time for us to get some side action on this because we
Oh,
both
tell
have
me
to
about
write
it.
every single day, regardless.
Yeah, so we can't really do like a double lineup alert. That's kind of a disaster. So
Whoever's got lineup alerts already has their hands full because it is just it's wild, especially for the NBA. And you guys are doing lineups for MLB stuff. I don't know how you guys are going to survive. It's just a matter of us all trying to get past the month of April. But that's what we're going to do. Without further ado, we're going to jump into some of the drafts. And Mike, I think you have first pick. Before you pick first, Grant Girton is on the line. Grant is the CEO of Fanium and now the Fantasy Elite app. Grant, are you there?
Yes, I'm still hanging out.
Basically, Grant, can you explain a little bit about the format of the scoring? For people that might not know or have not competed yet in a draft, there are no pitchers in this draft.
If there are, then someone figured something out because I have no idea. They aren't currently in the game. So if you draft a pitcher here, someone did something very special.
So as far as the format goes, scoring and roster positions, can you do basically just a short breakdown of how that's going?
Cool. We'll do a complete rundown. So a lot of positional flexibility because of the mobile focus. So it's just 3 infielders, 3 outfielders, 1 catcher, and 2 utility players, which can be of any position. As far as the scoring goes, it's 3 points for a single, 6 for a double, 9 for a triple, 12 for a home run. RBIs are 2, runs are 2, stolen bases are 4, and walks are 3. RBIs being slightly lower has to do with being like a very strong money ball guy. So I wasn't gonna dock him that much, but at least I got to put him a little bit lower. It's my small mark in the game. And as far as the format goes, you'll notice it on the graphic, but it's a combination of snake drafting and salary cap. So essentially, everyone is familiar with the snake draft from fantasy drafts that they entered the space with. We just combine that with the salary cap that you're familiar with in DFS. So it has the skill of having to make sure you keep your team under the cap, while also having the fun of drafting live against an opponent and making sure that there is no overlap. So Dink and Leone will have completely different teams today, as you would in every elite draft. And the cool thing here is that the late slate tonight, while it was an early start to the day in baseball with the 10 a.m. Pacific lineup block, this late slate doesn't start until 6:30 p.m. Pacific, I think, and 9:30 or so Eastern. So it's a long time to draft these teams. So you watch the draft, you like what you see, you can enter the app, and we'll talk through it. But there's these are very smart guys, and you can deposit through our app and get their advice free for a month to the whole year, depending on how much you deposit. So
let's not go that far. Like very smart guys. Like they're sharp, but very smart. I think you're pushing it. All right, let's get on to the first pick then. Mike, you got first pick?
Yeah, I think this is a pretty tough selection. Go with value, overall hitter, but I'm going to go with the position scarcity and take Buster Posey. The one spot where there's not too much flexibility is catcher. Infield, outfield, you obviously have a lot more flexibility, so I'm going to take Buster Posey first.
Interesting. Nice positional scarcity reference there. Obviously a big part of this game, kind of the strategy, the skill that we talk about. Do you want to block people? Do you want to take certain positions? So you go with Posey to start off with. Drew, how does that make you feel?
It's tough because, as Mike said, there's not a lot of flexibility with the catcher spot, and with this 3-game slate, and one of the games having potential weather issues, it really cuts it short on the opportunity at the catcher position. So some of the best options that I would have to fill out that spot would be in the Oakland-Cleveland game, which has some weather concerns. So that will definitely put me behind the 8 ball in trying to figure out how to handle that catcher spot. So I'm just gonna ignore it for now, because I don't think there's anything I can really do that would really be marvelous in that spot. So I instead am going to take Pablo Sandoval.
I love that you use the word marvelous. I don't know why.
Marvelous.
I do. Okay, so you take Pablo, and you both take players from the Giants. With the A's game potentially being rained out, is the Giants game where you see kind of the most value tonight?
Yeah, definitely. Even before the A's game getting rained out, I think that's by far the best ballpark for offense going tonight.
All right.
Yeah, and the Giants, of all the teams that are facing the pitchers in this 3-game format that we're playing tonight with all the late games, the Giants are the one facing the weakest starting pitcher of the group in Brandon McCarthy. You've got King Felix going, you've got Madison Bumgarner, you've got Sonny Gray, Justin Masterson. A lot of those guys are more frontline guys, and McCarthy's more of kind of a mid-rotation guy. So getting guys on the Giants, I think, is gonna come at a little bit of a premium early in this draft, is my guess.
Interesting. All right, Drew, you have another pick that you would like to make?
Yes, I am going to go with another Giant. I'm going to take Brandon Belt.
Interesting. So you go with 2 Giants. That sound you hear is Mike getting nervous.
I actually am very happy because the 2 other guys I was considering for the first pick are there. I think Paul Goldschmidt is far away the best hitter in this slate. And so I'm going to take him at home. Even though it's a good left-handed pitcher, he just crushes lefty. Give me Goldschmidt at home versus a lefty. And then Drew knows my next pick, I think.
Drew, can you guess?
Because I played him on draft.
He's going to take Michael Morse with his next pick, who's the minimum, and he has a love affair with.
Is that true?
I mean, I might debate the terminology, but yeah, I'm going to take Michael Morse. He's got power. He hits same-handed pitching well. And for the bare minimum, I think there's a couple bare minimum guys that are definitely playable, but I think he has the most upside out of all of them, so I'm going to lock him in. And I'm also pretty balanced right now. 1 infield, 1 outfield, and my catcher spot taken.
Very nice. So you got Posey, Goldschmidt, and Morris, and feeling good, obviously. Drew, you have the next 2 picks. And before that, I want to kind of do an informal poll. This game tonight, the Oakland game, already it started to rain there. Do they play this, yes or no? The latest game possible. It doesn't start till 10:05 Eastern time. But if you had to guess, would you say that it plays, Drew?
If I had to guess, I'd say yes, but I think it's either severely delayed or goes through delays.
Okay. So your answer is yes, and Mike, you say?
I say I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't
that
think
will be quite the bet that we will be making then.
Oh, well. That means
Mike is playing a 2-game slate, and I might be playing a 3-game slate.
Yep. That means that Mike may have tipped his hand with that. So we'll see. But for those that are new, it is a late swap site, so you can swap late if you do see that it is going to be rained out, or in Mike's case, if you see that it's going to be played and you played it safe in your draft, you can always go back and add some players later. So as far as shifting things around, it'll be interesting to see if either of these guys do that. Drew, you're next up.
Whoa, he already made his selections.
I just made my selections.
Okay. Drew already made his selections. Drew, why don't you walk us through it?
So I took Hunter Pence, get another piece of the Giants lineup in the middle of the lineup, and then I took A.J. Pollock, who should be leading off tonight for the Diamondbacks. Hits left-handed pitching very, very well as a right-handed bat. And while he doesn't play, the pitcher he's facing is much stronger than the pitcher Michael Morse is facing, I think he's a similarly skilled hitter versus this type of pitching. So I'll take the guy who's most likely to hit leadoff in the lineup as opposed to a guy that's going to hit much further down in the lineup.
And get lots of RBIs.
And knock all my guys in if he does anything at all.
Is Pence batting in the 2 spot, you think?
Is that what's coming out? I haven't seen.
I think that's where I read Beat
I have.
Writer.
It is. It is. Pence is hitting fifth. Belt is hitting second.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I might need to make some changes myself. That fifth spot for him is pretty nice, though. Good stuff.
So that'll be an interesting part of the lineup because now I've got 3 guys, 2 through 6, and Mike has the other 2.
Yep.
We've got that part of the lineup completely covered. It will be interesting to see who wins out on that bet.
All right. Mikey?
Okay, I'm going to just go with the next guy I think is the next best hitter, even though he's got a really tough matchup in a pitcher's park. I'm going to take Mike Trout and try and take some of these high-priced options away from Drew. And I'm going to balance him off with another one of the playable minimum salary guys, which is Abraham Almonte for $5,000. Leadoff guy, not a great matchup, but he's got the righty-lefty going for him, and it'll give me more flexibility as the draft moves on.
All right, so both you guys have similarly priced guys. You have 10.3 left per player, Mike, and Drew, you have 10.9 left. Almonte would be the cheapie that you paired with Trout. Mike, do you feel good about your lineup so far, yes or no?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I think I have 2 of the top hitters overall, and I'm going to have a big edge at catcher. So I'm feeling pretty good to start.
And Drew, do you feel good, or are you just kind of stuck in...
I feel all right. I feel like the ability for him to get Posey is a big advantage. So I think me trying to figure out that catcher spot is going to be a little bit of a challenge. But yeah, I feel okay with the guys that I've picked. It's just I feel like it's a slight disadvantage to try to work back from a catcher on this particular slate just because Posey's so strongly ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, Posey was kind of even.
Wine.
What?
I'm making fun of Drew for whining.
Oh, do you think he wants some cheese with that wine?
Might need some.
Oh, he might have already had some, from what it sounds like. So you chose Martin Prado.
Yeah, so he's hitting cleanup tonight, and again, he hits left-handed pitching pretty well. And again, it's the best scoring environment in ballparks, so I'll take my shot with Prado. For that price tag, under 9 is a pretty appealing price. So then now it's starting to get a little bit
Dicey.
A little bit scarcer,
yeah,
in terms of the guys that are out there. So I'm trying to figure out what the best way to go about this is with leaving myself room for the catcher. This is the interesting part about Fantasy Elite, is trying to make sure that if you have a play in your head that you're going to use towards the end, making sure that you have enough money to be able to make that play. And you have to kind of plan it out. Even though Mike's very unlikely to take a catcher, I need to keep in consideration how much money I will need for the catcher that I'm targeting. So I think that's an interesting part of the Elite app. I'm going to continue to pound away at the Giants lineup by taking Angel Pagan, the leadoff hitter. So I now have 1, 2, 3, and 5 in the Giants lineup, trying to neutralize the effect that he has by having Posey, by getting all of the potential points around Posey.
You said Angel. It's spelled.
It is Angel.
It's spelled Angel though, so you're telling me that it's Angel, and I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
It's Angel Pagan.
Wow, I always thought they were or they were angels. I never knew that they were Los Angeles Angels.
It's actually Los Angeles.
Oh, Drew, there you go. Hey, there you go. Look at that smile. We getting Drew back slowly but surely. Speaking of cheese, look at Mike smiling from ear to ear. Mike, you are like...
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing some math like Drew was talking about, trying to figure out if I'm going to have, the right guys available to me to fill out this lineup.
So Dink has 11.4 per player. Mike has 10.3. Again, you've got the infielders, and you've got the outfielders, and you've got the catcher position. And that catcher position seems to be the most important one, at least today. Did you pick, Mike?
I did not pick.
Okay, well, that's kind of important in this draft.
It is. This is where it gets tough. I'm between two guys, but I'm going to take Aaron
I preach
Hill.
abstinence, especially when you're between two guys.
You can't. We're just trying to have a serious little thing going on here, I mean. All right, I'm gonna keep capturing the offense in this Arizona Giants game. I'm gonna take Aaron Hill, and then sticking with the Arizona Giants game,
It's the same.
I am going to take Miguel Montero, even though it's a poor matchup, lefty-lefty, but he's hitting 6 in an offensive game. And it also, if I'm correct in my estimate that the late game gets rained out, that leaves Drew with only 2 catcher options, and both of them are not very good.
Well, I look forward to when you drop Montero, and I'm paying attention to this later, because I think that's your move there. I think you're just drafting him in the hopes that you keep him away from me now, but then you drop him right before the lineup's lock and try to snag someone else, because I don't think you want to play Montero.
I think that's what you want me to do.
I think you're full of it, is what it comes down to.
Whoa. Time out, guys. Time out. This is supposed to be a friendly. We're not... Hey, we all work together here. Let's not create a hostile environment. So I want to just play arbitrator, mediator. Yes, mediator. I don't know where arbitrator came from. It's been a long day. Mike, did you do that for blocking purposes?
Yes.
Do you think that is unfair for you to do that?
No, he had... How many rounds did he pass on a catcher?
It's true. It's true. Okay, so I will rule in favor of Mike.
There are guys he can play. They're just not good. It's not like he can't play someone.
They're not good? You mean they're not as good as Miguel Montero, who hit 215 last year?
Oh, dang. Oh, it's about to get live up in here.
If he's such a bad play, then you should be glad that I wasted a pick.
Yeah.
I think I'm expressing that.
He's expressing his excitement, if you can't tell.
That sounds
I'm going to take Robinson Cano, because I have enough salary to do so. And then I'm going to grab my catcher with my second to last spot. I'm going to draft John Jaso.
Ooh.
Why did I just get beeped? Some really smart guy you just hired wrote about him today.
I meant to push the cheer button. I really did. Actually, I meant to push the... This just in. Drew Dinkmeyer drafts a catcher in round number 8 of the Fantasy Elite Draft, John Jaso. And yes, you're right. Derek Carty did write him up on the article that we have on fantasyinsiders.com today. I guess his outfielders have also gone off. I think he had Diaza, Revere, Stanton, 2 other guys. One guy, Sizemore. So maybe
not a bad start.
Maybe his catcher, John Jaso, I think it was his number 1 option, barring weather, but may not be a bad spot for you, Drew. And that's one thing that I have kind of found out with the NBA stuff, is that sometimes it's like, oh, they got this guy, there's no chance. But as you kind of go towards the end of it, you realize that sometimes it's more balanced. Every day is different, though, on this app. And that's what's great about the app, is that no day is really the same as far as strategy goes. There's always different strategy, depends on the slate of games. Especially, I think, in like with the drafting on their salary cap, there is, as you guys have kind of demonstrated already, an element of skill. But you also have the fact that like the top play that you draft could go 0 for 4 or 0 for 5. And so it's going, like, just because he got Posey does not mean that it's over for you, Drew. So I want you.
I'm not conceding anything.
Okay, well, news to me. Sorry, that was just a little aside. Mike, you're up. But
yeah,
how
I'm
do you feel
having
about that
difficulty
John
with these
Jaso?
last two selections. To be completely honest, I might take a chance on this Oakland game now that we're near the end, and I know that I can replace these players if I'm wrong, and it looks even worse when we get closer. I just think there's too much value to pass up on Brandon Moss, who crushes left-handed pitching and is going up against a pitcher in Justin Masterson, who struggles against, or I'm sorry, Moss crushes right-handed pitching and Masterson struggles against left-handed batters.
Get it right.
Buzzed. Deservingly so. So I'm going to take Brandon Moss.
Lying, dirty scoundrel, saying that you believed this game was going to get rained out, and now you're drafting players from it.
I think it's going to get rained out, but I have until 10 o'clock. I've got some backup options in case, in case I'm right.
Throw me a freaking bone here.
If you can't tell, Moss was my last pick I was planning on taking.
Yeah, I could kind of tell that, Drew, that he kind of stole your pick. And maybe I'm to blame because I opened up the question and we talked about how we do think that the game will eventually be played. And for those that are not familiar with Mike, he can be easily swayed from one side to the other. So,
what is that supposed to mean?
Well, just look at those purple walls behind you, and you know that you can be easily convinced for anything. So, as far as those like purple walls, did you ever put up a stand like, no, honey, I'm not going to be having purple walls where I'm going to be doing a show and conducting my business?
I have nothing wrong with the color purple. It's bright and it's, a happy color. So
it does kind of match the theme of the Fantasy Elite show. I will give you that. So
that's planning ahead.
Mike, oh man, you're so much funnier than people realize. Oh gosh. Go ahead with your last pick.
Okay, so I might regret that Montero pick. I might have gotten too greedy trying to block Drew. Time will tell. But I am going to go back to that game and take the last giant in the lineup that I think could be, worth something, which is
the only giant.
Mr. Brandon Crawford.
Okay. Not a bad play there.
Okay.
And Drew, you have the last pick.
So this leaves me in a little bit of an odd spot because I have 10-8 left, and the best player or the highest salary player under that threshold is Rolly Banez, who sucks. So I don't really want him. And then it's Michael Saunders, who I also don't want. So it could go to Josh Donaldson, but even if that game gets played, Masterson's really tough on righties. So I don't think I want to go there. So I'm going to drop all the way down to one of my favorite sleepers this year. Guy who's going to lead off for the Los Angeles Angels, Cole Calhoun.
Oh, a little bit of Cole Calhoun. I was sad that JB Shuck is not going to be a thing, but
not a thing.
You like? He was always money in the 9 spot last year, but you like Cole Calhoun this season.
I do. He has an unbelievable minor league track record. Hit everywhere he went, takes walks, doesn't strike out a ton, and the Angels should score a ton of runs this year. So he's in a good spot. Obviously tonight, King Felix is really, really tough. So it's not an ideal matchup. But it leaves me some flexibility that if I need to move off Jason in that catcher spot, I have some salary room to be able to play with.
Steve says Cole Calhoun, all caps. That means
He knows what's up.
that means that he really likes him. Yeah, that means that he knows what's up. Well, there you have it. That is the draft, then, guys.
All right, I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You loving life right now? I mean, let's take a look at it. You have Drew, who left 1,000 on the table, but not that bad with these drafts. I mean, sometimes it's better just to leave money on the table. But I'm interested to see what the chat would say on who they think is winning this draft. I would say, if I'm grading it, I don't know. I really like Drew's lineup.
That's good. You liked his lineup last time with this too, so.
You know, it's an excellent point. I might have just given Drew the kiss of death, which is...
I mean, you have a strong history of predicting winners. Just not when it's me.
Hey, this is true. Also, on the show, I had given my blessing last week. I gave my blessing to Scott, and
Not to me.
and predicted Knapp, and they both won big prizes. Scott with 100,000 and Knapp with 50,000. So good stuff. As far as the promotion for this Daily Fantasy Rundown, Drew, I'll let you kind of go into what is involved with why people need to subscribe to the rundown and what the details pricing is. And then, Mike, I'll let you go piggyback off of that with the promotion details.
Yeah, so the rundown, what we do with the Daily Fantasy Rundown is we provide analysis, written recommendations, positional by position, every day of the season. And along with that, we also have a cheat sheets package. These are two separate packages. The cheat sheets have specific plays for FanDuel, DraftKings, or Draft Street. And then with either of those packages, you get access to lineup alerts as well, which people seem to really enjoy during the NBA season, but can also be really helpful during Major League Baseball season. Like, as we saw today, some guys being in surprise spots in lineups really alters the value of where they're hitting and how much they're worth on a game. So as soon as lineups come out, we'll send email updates to your inbox with what the lineup is, along with what analysis we think is necessary to add to our previous content. And we'll also provide updates on weather and different things like that. Just everything that you need to know will be delivered right to your inbox, whether it's the research that we provide on the daily recommendations or whether it's the lineup alerts that we provide leading up to it.
Very nice. And Mike, as far as the promotions go?
Yeah, so what Grant set up is a cross promotion between us and Fantasy Elite, where if you deposit a certain amount on Fantasy Elite, depending how much that amount is, they will pay for your subscription to Drew and I's content, whether it be a monthly package, a seasonal package, cheat sheets, or analysis, all depending. You can get up to the entire thing, the seasonal bundle package, and I will tweet out a link that has the details for that and where you need to deposit, how much you need to deposit to get which package.
I'll put it in the chat. I'll pull it up.
Oh, I can put it in the chat, actually.
Whoa. Easy, guys. Both of you can put it in the chat.
I can do it. So I think we need some side action on this now that we've drafted.
Now that you feel so confident about your team?
Yeah, I feel like I'm in your head, which...
You may be. Okay, you beat me to it. You got it in the chat first. You're the big winner.
Mikey wins!
There you have it. You guys want to do an NBA draft?
Sure.
Oh.
Why not?
I just spit on my iPad. Sure, let's do an NBA draft. Who's playing tonight?
What slate do we want to do this for, by the way? I'm still on the call. I need to get it set up.
There's one set up. Oh, no, you took it away.
Oh.
No, it's not. Yeah, there's one set up on... Or, hold on.
We've got one set up.
Let's do a
It's,
3-man. Let's do a 3-man. Come on.
Oh yeah, okay.
do
Let's.
that. Yeah, we can let you play.
Yeah, can I play?
I usually have more fun when Dave doesn't play, but
That's what my wife says too.
oh god, yeah, let's do this.
All right, let me just look at the.
Oh man, I just now am checking scores, and I'm seeing that some lineup tinkering has cost me greatly. So I thought I had Sizemore and Diaza. I do not.
My lineups I set like 3 days ago were a lot better than the ones I set this morning.
That's what happens sometimes, though. Oh wait, okay. No, I know what it is. It's the my early lineups are dominating. My late lineups not so much. That's what it is.
Yeah, this wind got into my head in Chicago because I originally had Eden, Deaza, and Gillespie on FanDuel. Granted, I wouldn't have played Deaza when he got dropped down anyways, though, because I like Nava and Sizemore in those spots. But the wind, that wind.
The wind was bad, kind of everywhere.
Yeah, but it was particular. It was blowing in like 20 miles per hour from right center, which is there's.
And the Chicago parks are particularly affected by wind usually.
So basically, this Texas Philadelphia game is 13-11. If you had anybody in that game, then, or if you had most people in that game, then you win.
Yeah, I don't have anyone from that game.
Yeah, I don't have anybody in that game either.
I think I have Rios
I have Utley and I have
in
Dominic.
draft.
Aren't doing that much.
Yeah, I am
don't
winning
have
my
Benjamin.
$2.75 elite draft from this morning against Putinami because of the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, Revere leading off is 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 2 runs.
And a stolen base. He
And
did it all. Cardi nailed that one.
And a stolen base. Good gracious. I feel pretty foolish for not rostering Jimmy Rollins anywhere. I know that Tuttle had him everywhere. When you talk to guys, obviously we're all friends here, but when you talk to guys who you know played certain other players, is it okay for you to cheer when your player does good when you know that they don't have their player? Or is it one of those things where you have to cheer silently, like, yes? Like, in the chat,
It depends on the scenario, I think.
yeah, Steve had Strasburg, and everyone else had Verlander, kind of went that route. And, I didn't know, like, if I should ask Steve to stop cheering because Verlander was getting lit and Strasburg was striking people out, or if I just need to be a man and wait for when my players go off where I can rub it in his face. So I didn't know, as far as when you guys work together and talk to each other, if you're on different plays, do you think it's in bad form to kind of celebrate when your player goes nuts? Or should you find someone that is like on the same boat as you are and celebrate privately?
Well, I think we're generally on the same page with a lot. And if one of us is using someone that the other isn't, it's probably in our content. So it's never a bad thing to root, for yourself in front of the other person, because it's probably good for our business as a whole. The only time that I think we kind of agreed is like that second day of the draft street qualifier when we just decided no one was going to talk to anybody.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. And I'm only kidding about Steve.
And we managed to defy the odds there, just like McJester. All three of us did not advance. When
I kind of said that, though. I kind of said that we'd all three advance to the last round or we wouldn't, because we're always on some of the same plays. But I'm only kidding about Steve. But it is a question, though, when someone says, when someone's cheering on their...
Nelly home run.
Well, I don't think
Finally.
you want...
Who?
Like,
Nelson Cruz.
Oh,
there's a difference
really?
between cheering for your guys and kind of like over cheering against someone else because you don't have them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, my guys can do well and your guys can do well, and we can both cash. That's what we're cheering for.
All right, we're let's jump in this game. Drew, you've got first pick. Let's make this a quickie.
Okay.
Shouldn't be a problem with either of you.
I'm good at that.
Yep.
My wife can vouch.
Yep.
I can't find the game. My wife can also vouch.
Should in the lobby. We have it.
Yeah, it's
I have a
there.
link.
Yeah, it's there.
Oh,
If you're competent, it's there.
just popped up. Okay. All right. Just scroll real quick. Think I know who I want already. Don't want to miss anybody. That would be disastrous, especially with these two smart guys drafting behind me.
Oh my god, there's so many games tonight.
Oh my gosh! I really hope Drew does not pick this guy.
Are you
I
second?
think I know who I'm taking. I think
Okay.
it's your guy,
Who is it?
Mr. Sims.
Yep, that's my guy. Henry
jerk.
Sims.
On the board.
Now I'm on the clock. I will go with man. I hate drafting in the middle. Blah.
You don't like being the meat in the Dinkley sandwich?
I don't know why you would have said that.
I'll go with go ahead and get Millsap out of the way.
Oh. That was who I was debating between.
I haven't looked at a thing of NBA today.
Okay,
So-
enough whining. Can you just?
All right, fine.
Yeah, seriously, after calling me
Andre
out.
Drummond. What? Oh, it's my turn again, isn't it? All right. I can bounce back. Let's see. Are we allowed to ask our competitors for advice?
You went with Andre Drummond, huh?
Yeah, and Al Jefferson.
Okay.
Way to play it safe, Mike, and try not to embarrass yourself by just taking the most expensive guys.
That's right. Screw you guys. Who are you going to play at center?
Well, I already have one, so...
Oh.
I will go with Mr. Pero. And just to make sure no one blocks me.
Oh, I can't tell you how happy that makes me. I'm taking Ramon Sessions,
Oh, that is a good pick. That's a really good pick.
who I missed on my first scroll, but I'm glad I caught him before you guys were able to snatch him up. Then I'm going to take Jeff Teague. Get my guards out of the way.
All right. And I'm going to take Jeff Adrian.
That's a good pick. He's really cheap.
Yes, he is. And now the 10 minutes that Mike gets to select his players.
Excuse me?
Just saying, you're not exactly the quickest on the draw here.
All right, I'm going to take Shelvin Mack because I figure if you don't know what you're doing, you might as well take cheap guys against the Sixers.
Shelvin Mack might be a thing if Kyle Korver does not play tonight, so it's not a bad play.
Kyle Korver's in now, so
He is in?
yeah.
Okay. Well,
For sure.
well
Yep.
that's a pretty bad play then. All right, next play.
My cats have now decided that since I'm in here, they will just hang out on my desk, and I can't see my computer screen. Son of a bitch. You guys are gonna have to put the timer on me.
Don't even know what that means.
I'm just going to go Buck Love. Giannis.
We actually pronounce his name Giannis because that's the correct.
Well, some of us do. Some of us don't.
Some of us aren't into pronunciations.
Obviously. Let's see. So I need some guards. I will go with. Ugh. It's rough. I'll go with Brandon Jennings. Revenge
Good
game.
luck.
Revenge game. And then I will take
No, you won't.
Michael
You
Carter
only get
Williams.
one pick at a time there.
Dang it! I forgot that I'm middle.
That was awesome.
So I'm going to take...
Don't you do it, Drew.
Take Michael
Don't you
Carter
do it,
Williams.
Drew.
I'm going to
Please.
take a hustle player in Damari Carroll.
Okay, that's a good play. I was looking at him.
And then I have another guy in mind, but I want to scroll just to make sure I'm not missing out on anybody. Because I do get 2 picks in a row. Yeah, I'm going to take Greg Monroe. Nope, I'm going to take Thaddeus Young.
Oh,
They're right next to each other.
Thad Young's a good play. All right, so I'm going to take Michael Carter Williams then.
Oh, it's my turn again. You guys are so well prepared.
Yeah. Well, you can always look while we're drafting.
Or you
I've
could
been
just listen to the guy that I said I was going to take.
Yeah.
I was looking, so I didn't hear you.
Gerald Henderson. That's who he said.
Oh. This could be a dink trick, though.
Just take another catcher.
Alright, I'm going to just anticipate Kyle Korver and Damari Carroll re-aggravating their injuries within 5 minutes of this game.
That sounds like a great plan.
Good
And
Mike
pick
Scott.
based on that hope and dream. I thought you were going to take Greg Monroe.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh.
Well, look at that. He's right there, Mike.
Yeah, I'm on board.
Well, take him then.
That
I
only
did.
took
You're
3
up.
minutes to come back around to.
All right, so you took Mike. You did take Mike Scott. I thought you were joking about that. You really
Oh, that was
did.
real?
Oh
Guys,
man.
just wait. We'll see who's going to be laughing later. You guys with all your research.
Oh no. I mean, we'll be laughing at you for sure. Let's see. I'm gonna go with. Oh man.
So, Mike, your thought process is if Damari Carroll and Kyle Korver both got re-injured, Mike Scott is the guy that you would go to in this scenario.
Yeah.
That is factually correct. Yes.
That's your final answer. It wouldn't have been Lou Williams.
Dude, I'm done with Sweet Lou.
I went with Marco tonight.
Hello.
Shelvin Mack's gonna be a thing. And oh my god, Mike Scott chucking threes in this game in a blowout? Are you serious? All day.
All right, I'm going to take Kyle Korver
I was gonna take him.
Lols.
because I'm going to bet on the guy who's now healthy, staying healthy before the game tips. And then
You have to realize I didn't know who was playing tonight 10 minutes ago.
Oh
no,
no,
that's
we,
very evident.
we realized that. I mean, that's
We're
not
all
really
aware.
a hidden factor.
I hate you. I hate you so much.
And I'm going to take Brandon Knight.
Ha! I thought you had enough of him.
he was one of the 7 players on my Stark Street team not to score more than 15 points.
Yikes.
Oh, so you really can't afford to be mad at everyone.
No, exactly. Can't fight all the battles at once.
I can't believe Nelson Cruz wasn't available on FanDuel. I am just upset about that.
Why was that? That's interesting.
All right, Chris Middleton. Lock that down.
Not bad.
Follow that up with Mr. Oh shit, Dave took him. God.
Good job, Davis.
Dave! Can I undo the Middleton pick?
Where are you wanting to go, Kimba?
Where Marco Bellinelli? I could have sworn he was there.
I know. I said Marco, and then Drew said Polo, and then you said Abo.
You win some, you lose some. That's gonna put a wrench.
Mike, serious question. Do you have a tanning bed right in front of your computer screen?
No, why? Is there glare?
You just look so bright.
Well,
like now it's okay, but when you like scoot up, it's like really, that's bright. That is really bright.
Professional lighting, baby. Woo!
All right, I'm down to minimum salary, so it's basically. I mean, I want to take Nate Walters, but he doesn't play, so...
That's not a reason not to take.
It's true.
As Mike has shown.
Same for C.J. Watson.
Oh, did I take people who aren't playing?
I'm going to go with Casper Ware.
Thought you were taking Casper Wells for a second.
Casper Ware for the Sixers. That'll complete my lineup. So, boom. Feel pretty good about that. Millsap, Antich, Adrian Jennings, Makar Williams, Bellinelli, Kimba, Casper. And I think we have one more pick. Nope.
I made my pick. There it is.
Oh, you went Jerebko. Very nice. Well, that will do it for the inaugural Fantasy Elite show. Want to thank the wonderful guys there at RotoExperts. I said wonderful, not super smart like Grant did. But again, make sure if you don't have this app that you get it, first of all, in the store. And you can also get the free content there or get the paid content for free just by depositing. And again, they'll put the link in the chat, and you can also find them on Twitter. And at Drew Dinkmeyer, at Leonum4444. Guys, appreciate you joining me today. And Grant, also, for you basically sponsoring this segment. It's going to be a fun show. We're going to liven it up a little bit. We're not going to let past games really dictate the mood that we're in. We're going to have dancing and karaoke and players talk and semi-strip teases. Won't go full nude. Everything will be tasteful, so not to worry there. But it will be a fun show. So even going to have an After Dark show that Davis should thrive in. So keep a lookout on Twitter at InsidersDFS, at SoccerDave, and we'll have more details. And if you have any questions about the Elite app, or if you want to play, hit us up on Twitter, and we'll play some. So there are some nice little slate of games for NBA tonight on the Elite app, so I will be playing them. Papa Cub says, is there a different FITV schedule now that baseball has started? He wants an answer. Yes, there will be, and we'll get more into that tomorrow. Basically, the month of April is going to be a little bit different, and then we'll have some sort of regularity. So there will be a different schedule, and again, we'll be posting that on all our social media and our website. So tune in tomorrow, and we'll have the Insiders TV show and the After Dark show. So it should be fun. Guys, again, thanks for joining us. And any parting words that you have for one another, like trash talk, do you want to issue any sort of trash talk to the other?
My draft speaks for itself.
It certainly did.
The draft that we both prepared for.
The After
It
Dark
certainly
show will most likely be around 9 Eastern Time. So it will be the After Dark, and there will be drafts, and it'll be sweat show / draft show / everything. So that will be it. And with that, we'll talk to you guys later.